Do you remember a few months back where a United States judge ruled that employees were not allowed to quit and forced them to stay at a job that they didn't want to be at? Well, neoliberals have been in charge way too long, and this is where it's going. Instead of the typical slave labor that you have to do because you're a wage slave, say that again, you're a wage slave, you must work or you'll starve to death. Now, it's not just the United States that has this issue. Canada does too. Now, the Labor Board order has come through and been posted. It says, for the last 3 days, scaffolders have refused to work overtime beyond their 10-hour shift at Sucker Base plant site and have refused to accept overtime shift offered for the weekend on both night and day shifts. We have been patient and given your union an opportunity to convince you that this coordinated refusal constitutes an illegal strike and that you may face consequences as a result. Obviously, this has not worked. So they went to the Labor Board and asked them to declare it a legal strike for people not working overtime. Now, they can toss these people in jail if they don't work voluntarily overtime. It really sounds like slavery. The business wants something, and so the business gets it. This is the problem. What evidence have they provided that it is an organized refusal to work overtime? Maybe people in a dangerous profession don't want to be up on scaffolding after 10 hours where they're tired and exhausted and might fall to their death. So it goes on. Today we appeared in front of the Labor Relations Board. The board has issued an order finding that scaffolding have threatened a strike and have engaged in a strike or job action by coordinated refusal to work overtime. The board is directing all such activities cease and that employees are prohibited from the coordinating efforts to refuse overtime in order to secure incentives. The board ruled that refusing to work voluntarily overtime is an unlawful strike and in violation of the Labor Relations Code when it is done, as here, by a group of employees acting together. A copy of this order will be circulated today to our locations at Sucker and Suncrude and will be posted on these sites. How long does neoliberals have to stay in charge before we understand that they only see us as slaves? That we work and die to support the rich? But what punishments are there other than just jail, disciplinary, or termination of employment for this conduct? A hiring ban for those that engage in this activity, blacklisting them, legal actions against striking employees for all damage caused by the illegal strike. You can be personally liable for added production costs and penalties owing to owner or even the loss of the contract with our client. Contempt of court proceedings for violation of the order entered in this court, the possibility of fines from the court and jail, not to mention, I just said that the company will sue you and make you pay for them paying other people. So you work for the company and you work whatever overtime they decide, or they're going to take all the money that you have. And, might consider the owner a site ban, so you can't work on the site at all. So liberals in Canada can be jailed for refusing working overtime. They can take every dime that you have, all because you don't work voluntary overtime. Now, this is the reason why we need stronger workers' laws. The fact that corporations brag about breaking unions, that should be incentive to every single American to stand with the unions, to fund them, because unions gave us our 8-hour workday. It gave us weekends. It eliminated child labor. And without them, corporations and businesses will go back to pushing our wages down and demanding more and more out of us until we die. Neoliberals can be in order to stay in a job in the US. How exactly should anyone feel about these? So if you like those videos, please help. The YouTube algorithm is horribly biased against, progressives. And the Republicans have massive amounts of money just to buy it off. So every time you like, every time you put a comment down below, helps us out. So like, subscribe, and if you really want to help the environment, down below is a link to a GoFundMe page where it has a brand new power generation that is 0% carbon emission and one of the cheapest productions of electricity the world has ever had. So go down, help us out.